Hello, friends. Welcome to the Calyx. I am your keeper of arcane lore, Becca Scott, and this evening we will be continuing with part 2 of last week's scenario. Genius Loci is the name in the book, and the book is Doors to Darkness. So if you're interested in running Call of Cthulhu for your friends, you're going to want to pick this up. And this is a good time to mention our wonderful sponsor, Chaosium, the publishers of Call of Cthulhu. Thanks, big thanks to them for sponsoring this show so we can play our favorite game and tell you all about our discount code, CalyxX3, because this is season 3 of the show. I'm so glad to have you here with us this evening and to get further into the madness at Danvers State Lunatic Asylum. All right, without further ado, let's jump right on in to meeting our player characters and their investigators. Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, welcome back to part 2 of our adventure. Let's go around and have everyone say who they are, where they can be found, and a little bit about your character. Let's start with Gina, who's Joe Reeves.
Yes. Well, hello. I am Gina DeVivo. You can find me on the internet, most places, at Pocket Gina. I do random crafting and usually a lot of RPGs. But tonight on the RPG that we are playing, I am Joe Reeves, an archaeologist and general scoundrel. Many hidden bottles of liquor and ready for a good time, but she's not having a good time. There has been quite a lot of unfortunate events that
a series of them.
Series of them. Lots of paintings and she's just not having it anymore. So we'll see how her demeanor changes now. If she's still cool as a cucumber or if she's gonna sweat. So that's Joe.
Bridgett.
Hi, my name is Bridgett Jeffries. If you love any type of tabletop role-playing game, you can check me out because I love all of them as well at www.symphonyentertainment.com. That is my own gaming club dedicated to all things horror tabletop role-playing games. I am also a co-host on the Miskatonic University podcast, the 2-time Emmy Award winning, I'm going to say that every time because it's really awesome, podcast. So you can always tune in to that at mu-podcast.com. And last but certainly not least, especially being that we're here because of our gracious sponsors, Chaosium, if you're ever thinking about or considering writing for a 7th edition Call of Cthulhu, the Miskatonic Repository is a great place for you to actually self-publish your material. I and 3 others are community ambassadors that would love to help you get in that direction. So find a way to contact me through one of those channels and we can get you plugged in on one of those channels.
That someday.
Come to us. I am playing Millie Green. She's an African-American female from Baton Rouge. She is a con artist that also has a strong history background. She considers herself an amateur historian, mostly just from oral traditions, stories that were passed down. It's been alluded a bit, but she hasn't quite overtly said it, but she definitely has maybe some witchcraft in her background or maybe some voodoo experience or something back there where she's a little bit more open to the supernatural. However, everything that she encountered earlier today in the game is starting to unravel her. So she's usually very laid back, she's very unbothered, but right now, like, there are parts of her that are twisting backwards and are very uncomfortable, especially because she thinks that building is either alive or watching her, and that is not making her feel warm and fuzzy.
Buildings aren't alive.
What? Absolutely not.
But
Paula.
it was staring at me.
Paula, tell us about you and about Peterson.
Yeah, hi, I'm Paula Deming. You can find me here on Twitch at Paula Deming. Just my name there, twitch.tv/Paula Deming. I stream board games and video games. I also stream board games on Gen Con TV every Wednesday, so check that out tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. You can also find me on YouTube making board game sketch comedy called Things Get Dicey. Just type that into YouTube and you'll find it. And you can find that on Twitter, Things Get Dicey, or me personally, Paula Deming on Twitter. And I make videos for Watch It Played about board games, and I have a podcast called Death by Monsters, which is all about monsters, mysteries, and the unknown, a kind of comedic take on the paranormal. And I'm on a board game comedy podcast called This Game is Broken, and I do nerd reactions to things like Star Trek The Next Generation, Doctor Who, Avatar The Last Airbender over on my YouTube channel, Gallifrey Gals. I play Peterson Langley here today. I am a doctor of medicine and freelance a medical examiner. I will do the occasional autopsy. I have a strange interest in cryogenics, and I truly believe that there is an explanation for everything rooted in science. And I have no problem throwing around my Ivy League background if I think it's going to get me something I want. So...
Sounds like anyone
Yep.
who went to an Ivy League.
That's right. Princeton, in case you're curious. But
All right. So,
You throw around your degrees, we throw around fists. What's the difference? We all get what we want in the end.
Same thing.
are we ready to hop back into the scenario?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's start with a brief recap of what happened last week. So the year is 1925. The three of you, of course, know each other because you are in the Sorority of the Unordinary. And being a part of this esoteric society, you are given missions by someone called the Dispatcher, and that's how you know one another. You are willing to open your eyes to things that others choose to ignore. Now, your association with this freelance organization is what brought you to Danvers, Massachusetts. Danvers, you also have a friend who's here in Danvers, staying for a leisurely, or so he thought, stay at the Danvers State Lunatic Asylum.
Leisurely stay at the asylum.
That's what he was hoping for, a little relaxation, recuperation. He's a writer, of course, Larry Croswell, a gentleman who you know also dabbles in the esoteric, the occult, and the unordinary, and sometimes patron of your organization. And he seems to have made a grave error in selecting Danvers because, as you found out when you visited him, he is no longer allowed to check himself out. Would you like to fill me in and our audience on the sort of place that Danvers Asylum is, the things that you experienced while you were there?
Who wants to go first?
I was attacked. There's blood graffiti on the walls, and strange drawings people are doing of a toad-winged creature with 6 eyes, murmurings of a new moon of some sort, and I suspect some sort of ritual, maybe? I don't know.
I think that this conversation is happening in the location that your notes from the dispatcher told you would be your homestead for the time that you are associating at Danvers. You have come to a place that you were given the address to called Linda Lovewing's boarding house in the city of Danvers, just a few miles away from the asylum. You checked in around 5:30 in the evening, and a sweet woman, an older woman named Linda Lovewing, checked you in. It is her home. It's a small, kind of shabby 3-story house in an unassuming town with a small main street and not too much in it. The main thing that draws people to this town is the asylum, and it seems that many of the doctors and orderlies might live on the campus of the asylum, but those that don't reside in this town otherwise. And you've checked in to a series of 3 rooms that have a shared drawing room, and knock knock, tea for the 3 of you? Dinner will be served in about an hour.
Yes, please,
Oh.
thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Do
darling.
you need help?
Yeah, you see her hobbling into the room and sort of struggling to even push the door open. She is in her late 80s, early 90s. No, I'm fine. I've been doing this longer than you've been alive.
Of course, which means you don't have to do it any longer this afternoon. And I take the tray and set it down. Don't worry. Go rest your feet. We're
Well,
quite capable.
I do have to oversee the cook making dinner, but, well, perhaps I could put them in the ice bath for just a moment. You three beautiful ladies, please let me know. Oh, sorry, sir. Please let me know if there's any information I could tell you about the town of Danvers. Oh, I do love visitors from other places.
We will definitely take you up on that. Are you going to be joining us for dinner?
Why, certainly. It is a boarding house, is it not?
Well, then we look forward to a delightful conversation later. And Joe is like literally standing in front of her so she cannot see the many notes and like disgusting redrawings and like we've made this drawing room quite a mess. At least I have.
I see you're settling in quite comfortably.
Yes.
Might I inquire, are there any other guests staying at the house tonight, or is it just us?
Oh, just you. Yes, if there's some sort of event sometimes, there'll be other guests passing through, but, well, not lately. No, not lately at all. Anyway, I'm off to ice my feet.
Peterson, meanwhile, is just like has been just looking through their journal, making notes, and going, "Oh, and with the tea, could you? Where'd she go?"
Joe closes the door. What do you need? Also, don't forget about the little slithery thing that went into the puddle.
Oh, yes, the slithery thing went into the puddle. And what was the paint? Tell me again about the painting you saw in the office.
Oh, the dragon. Well,
Yes.
that I should know more about that as an archaeologist. I would possibly have some artistic knowledge. However, Gina DeVivo does not. So I don't remember what it was called, what it was recreating. And
St. George and the Dragon.
And the dragon, yep.
St. George and the dragon. The dragon was devouring a horse. What else? Do you remember anything else, Millie? You also got a good, unfortunate look at it.
No, I will say the painting was very, very disconcerting. But Dr. Berger did say that one of his recently deceased patients painted that for him.
Yes.
The horse was in quite a state of disrepair.
And didn't Larry say his painting was of a hill?
It was. Perhaps a hill on the property.
I still think it's the hill that poor patient is buried in, but I'm in the heebie-jeebies right now.
Well, I think that is an interesting hypothesis, one that I would be curious to test and find out. And I am also very curious about Andrew McBride. That's who passed the note for Larry, but through his brother. Now, I know that our host said no one else is staying here, but I wonder if we could find out if his brother is still in town. Maybe we could talk to him.
Indeed, that would be a clever inquiry.
Cream?
No, thank you, darling.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Cream on this coast just isn't the same as it is back home.
Well,
Any
chicory in the coffee, but I'm sure it's still fine.
I can add something a little special.
Oh, no, I need to keep my my mind clear as I take these notes.
Millie?
No, thank you, darling. But what are the chances you think Miss Linda has a phone out here?
Did we see a phone on the way in?
Yes, you did see a phone down in the hallway by the front door.
I believe I did see one.
Oh.
So maybe we can ask at dinner. Or now.
Smashing, ma'am, sir, would you mind if I excuse myself for just a moment?
Go.
Please, do you need anyone to go with you?
No, I'm quite all right, thank you.
All right.
And she will stand up, push her dress down, and then very carefully step over paperwork, try to miss that string that's being drawn from wall to wall, dip
The
under
red
another
yarn
piece of
that's
yarn.
crisscrossed again.
Right. So we'll Mission Impossible very carefully out of the room.
Excellent. Let's follow Millie as she heads out of the room. Does she go to the phone?
Yes.
All right. Who would she like to call?
Millie would very much, he said it's 5:00 on this side of town. She would very much like to attempt to call her sister, Ava, who's a current voodoo priestess.
Excellent.
She probably owns some type of niche store in Baton Rouge, something that sells incense, candles, things of that nature. But people who know where to look or where they possibly hold different seances, sacrifice, and things of nature are kind of in the back of it. So she would give that store a ring.
All right. She's going to call the Voodoo Shop. I think that it is called what do you think it's called? Let's see.
Ever burning candle.
Ever burning candle.
That's a good name.
All
Thanks,
right.
babe.
You hear the phone ring and a voice picks up. Ever burning candle. This is Ava speaking.
Ava, darling, I hope I'm not interrupting you.
Millie, dear. Oh, you haven't called in an age. Where have you been?
Well, my apologies. The sorority has us all the way out there on the East Coast right now. I do apologize. Hopefully I'll be home before the holiday.
I told you I don't trust that organization.
And I understand, and I hear what you said, Miss Ava. I really do. But right now, I could really use your help.
Well, if my sister calls in need and I don't help, what sort of family would I be?
Oh, mother would turn in her grave is the type of family member you would be, Ava.
Oh, I would
we wouldn't have
never
that now,
have
would we?
that. No, couldn't upset mother even in death. Still nagging.
On the way into this godforsaken town, the other sorority members and I had, the only thing I can describe it is as a shared dream. And it was a very peculiar dream. We were all tied up on stakes. We were getting ready to be burned at the stake as witches. I didn't recognize any of the faces, but all of those accusers looked the same to us. But the strangest thing is, after we got where we were going, a location called the Danvers Lunatic Asylum, there was and just so Bridgett is correcting herself, that was a newspaper article with Dr. Berger in Salem.
Let's see. What did you see? A newspaper article?
Yeah, was that
I've written a
the
clipping.
Dispatcher or
Salem News.
Salem News?
There was a clipping of a photograph from the Salem News. Yes, it was Dr. Berger, the doctor that you met, a rather strange man with wispy straw hair, very pale with big bags under his eyes. He was looking very different on the day he took over the Danvers State Asylum, and the caption reads that he took over for Dr. William Shine.
William Shine. Thank you. My question for you, Ava, is what can you tell me about those girls up in Salem? Something that I might not possibly find at the library.
Millie, you're getting yourself into trouble. I think you should get out of there. You said you were where? Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, yes, darling.
Are you near Salem?
Oh, there's a question I haven't considered. How far is Salem from here, approximately?
Perhaps that's a question you could check with Linda Lovewing about. Witches, as they were called, were just women living their lives, trying to help one another out, and they were burned alive. There was something foul about the sort of things that went on there. That's all that I know. What's your relationship been like with Ava? Would she need convincing to give you information?
No, I don't think so. I think the relationship with Millie and Abe would be pretty straightforward, almost kind of like what you're improvising beautifully off the rip right now. It's like, I'm going to stay here until this is resolved. So you can either give me the information that I need or you're going to put me in danger.
I think you shouldn't be there. I think that sounds like a dangerous place that you've walked into. Anything, I mean, who's to say that a new witch hunt will start anew with you and your sorority mates?
Yeah, I had considered that after the dream, which is exactly why I made this phone call, Ava.
All right, so you're asking what she knows about the women of Salem, the witches of Salem. I'll have her do a roll then and see what she knows about that history.
Come through, Ava.
All I know is that it wasn't safe for those women, and it seems like there was something about that town, about that area that just made the people wild, made them have a bloodlust that they couldn't control. There was something in the earth. That's the feeling I get. But I'll light some candles and I'll see if any of my spirits speak to me tonight. I'm not getting anything right now.
No, I appreciate that, Ava. Thank you so much. If you need to reach me, I'll be staying here at this, and she'll give her the information for Miss Linda Lovewing's boarding house.
All right, well, I'll write this down. It's nice of you to finally call. I wish it wasn't because you needed something.
Oh, darling, you know the next time I'll call is because I need something as well.
I do know that's true. All right, well, you take care.
You
True family. Sisters. There were never such sassy sisters.
Almost
Okay.
in like an epiphany panic. The second she hangs up this or puts down the receiver, she's gonna pop into some rooms like, I'm sorry, how far are we away from the Salem town? Like, that's gonna be like,
Yeah, the old cook's 7 miles.
she's already has a very fair complexion, but her skin actually dials back one more color, going closer to white, as she's going to immediately hit those stairs to run back upstairs.
Dinner in 15 minutes.
Clunk, 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 clunk,
Ah!
clunk, slide, clunk, 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 slap,
Millie,
clunk, clunk,
what?
clunk.
What is the commotion? Ah,
My notes.
the strings!
Oh my lord.
I'm about to have a breakthrough, and now they've all been torn down. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not upset. It's fine. I just.
Peterson, Joe, listen. Okay, so the shared dream we had, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I got to thinking, the shared dream that we had was us burning at the stake, correct? Like witches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And back in Dr. Berger's office, it appears that he took over Danvers from Salem, whatever he was doing in Salem.
Yeah.
Seems like it was the Salem News.
We are less than 7 miles away from Salem right this moment.
You don't say.
Well, do you think maybe perhaps we passed by a sign saying Salem on the train, and we all subconsciously we didn't recognize it consciously, but it buried itself in our subconscious, and then we all had a dream about Salem, knowing what we know about the witch trials there.
You are just so scientific. God bless your heart, honey.
I ain't
Would
gonna
anyone
be-
like to roll for Occult to see if that is in fact the case?
I will. I'm the tiebreaker. Why not? I'm looking at the two of them between science and mysticism. What? Joe doesn't know. Joe believes in both. Let's find out.
To prove myself right, can I as well to prove myself right that it's coincidence?
Absolutely. I think you could just roll for sanity. You won't lose anything, of course.
Ooh.
I succeeded, but can I spend 7 look points to make it an extreme success? Is that a thing that you can do?
And you're attempting to roll for occult to see whether or not the reason why you had a shared dream was for occult reasons or because you just happened to see a sign on the train?
Yeah, correct. I rolled a 17, and so it's a hard success for sure. But if it was a 10,
I won't make
extreme.
You don't need to spend for the extreme, but with a hard success, something tells you that.
Also, I will mention the occult was one of the boxes I checked last week.
Oh. Well, then perhaps you'll need to get a good night's rest here at the boarding house.
Nice. Double check.
With that hard success, you know that Peterson is trying to rationalize that which cannot be rationalized, that which is beyond understanding, that which happens because of factors at work, nefarious beings that exist beyond the human realm, beyond this plane of existence. You feel that something was trying to reach out to each of you. And that is the reason why you shared this dream. Something wanted you to have the information that witches were burned here, and that wanted you to think you might be next.
Peterson, something has just come over me.
Oh.
Now, yes, subconsciously things happen, but we passed like a million towns with a million horrible things that happened in them. Yet we all dreamed about women being burned at the stake before being a few miles from it while investigating a very dangerous cult ritual that is about to happen in a few days that we didn't know about previously. I'm gonna go out on a weird limb here and say, I think that there is something much darker happening than just our subconscious torturing us. Because I do that enough as it is.
Well, true.
So
I'm sorry. That was probably an offensive thing to say. I didn't mean it in that way.
No. It's okay. I know my faults. I have flaws. I'm a woman with flaws. It's fine.
Aren't we all? So.
Yeah, but apparently you're not supposed to say that out loud.
Well, it takes the allure away. Fine. All right then. Fine. Perhaps it was more than just subconscious causing dreams.
Yes. Because I still feel the rope around my wrist, Peterson. Do you?
Well, I have to admit that I do.
Staring like, yeah, do you?
They just itch sometimes, but, maybe that's an allergy or just, a psychosomatic symptom.
Each of you do at that moment when Joe says rope, feel that scratching and reach down and touch your wrists in turn just to get it away. It's a phantom itch.
Joe stands up. Dinner's in 15, but
dinner is served. You hear
15 minutes went by fast.
Down the stairs.
Dang.
Well,
all right, I'm gonna make a midnight library run tonight because I don't think I'm gonna be getting much sleep.
Becca, would we have with us, being a member of this organization, would we have possibly already with us like books and research that we would have brought from the organization that might have aided in anything, or do we need to go to a library institution of some sort?
You'll need to, you didn't bring anything specific with you about the local area. Okay. You just got the letter from Larry asking for help. And then a second letter, supposedly signed from Larry, that was typewritten, saying help was no longer needed. but no information specifically that you brought with you about the local area. As you come into the downstairs dining room in this old, creaky, but lovely house, it definitely was a sight to be seen when it was first built. And although it is not particularly well kept because it's just old lady love wing and a few part-time employees, she does her best.
Please sit. You'll be there. Yes. And Miss Green, you'll sit here. Miss Reeves right over here. And I'll be at the head of the table. My husband, he would sit here, but, well, he's since passed.
Well, it's a fine place for you to sit also.
Oh, thank you. Well, do tell me about yourselves, your interests. What brings you to Danvers?
Oh, visiting a friend and wanted to get out. I'm newly back to the country.
You've traveled in other countries?
Yeah, that's usually where I spend most of my time. So I'm quite curious. I've never been to this part of town, and you said you might regale us with stories, so...
Oh, yes. Well, Danvers is a small place, but we do have the Historical Society, of which I am the co-chairwoman.
Oh, wonderful. Could you possibly give us access to any of your materials after dinner? The Historical Society.
After dinner I go promptly to bed. It's, honestly, my eyelids droop now, but in the morning I would be happy to grant you access. I could give you the tour.
Most
be much
kind.
obliged.
Yes. Did you say, Ms. Lovewing, have you never left the country? Have you always been here in Danvers?
Always here in Danvers. I've traveled a bit around the state. My husband's work used to take us here and there. He was in the law.
Wonderful.
Yes, very dead now, though. Very
Yes.
dead.
Well, it's good when they're very dead and not only just sort of dead.
No,
I
not
suppose.
even. Yes, no, extremely dead is my husband.
Millie is shooting glances across
Yeah.
the table to Peterson
Yeah.
and Joe, like, so no one else is bothered by that statement?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got distracted by my own thoughts for a second, and Peterson just kind of takes their glasses and if you noticed being here your whole life, any major changes in Danvers, especially of recent time, or has it always been just like this?
Oh no, it was very different. 10 years ago, I'd say, was the change.
Oh, and
Yes.
what changed exactly, would you say?
Oh, well, for a time, the asylum wasn't always such a sad place. It seems to be more dour, less bustling in town. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a bit of a pervasive sadness, I'd call it.
That is actually very well articulated as she's, taking a sip of her water.
Well, as co-chairwoman
Evasive
of
sadness.
the Historical Society, I've noticed a thing or two.
What
Yes, of course.
What changed 10 years ago? You said it was 10 years ago that this town changed. Was it overnight?
Well, people moved away. Young people started moving to, the town of Arkham or Boston, and, well, there was the change in the superintendent at the hospital.
Peterson will pull their journal out of their pocket and go, oh, yes, from Dr. Shine to Dr. Berger.
Oh, Dr. Shine was so well regarded. We had him speak at a Historical Society engagement 2 years in a row.
And
What an honor.
It
is he
was.
still available for speaking engagements?
Oh, well, he has sadly passed. Just a year after his retirement, I believe. It goes to show you can't stop the mind when you let it be dormant. That's when Father Death gets you. That's why I keep up with the Historical Society, and of course the boarding house keeps me
Very
young.
clever. Indeed, it does, ma'am.
And do you have any particular opinions on Dr. Berger, who now runs the asylum? Have you interacted with him at all?
Oh, well, no. We did reach out for a ribbon cutting of the Historical Society's new archive, but, well, he declined. In fact, it wasn't even him. It was word from a nurse that he would decline. Not the same sort of genial type, but I hear he's a very good doctor, very well renowned.
Well, I mean, he didn't go to Princeton, but
No.
fine.
Inquiring minds will tell you, I believe he came from Texas, that one. A long way.
Texas, that's interesting.
If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been running the inn on your own?
Oh, well, when did Gerald pass? I would say it's been 9 years now.
So around
She
the same
scoffs on
time
the water
as,
like,
Yeah.
oh, pardon me.
Peterson will just reach over and just like pat on the bag.
So
Really, like,
sorry for your loss.
Oh, well, Gerald was very old and very mean.
Oh, well, then
Well.
I'm not sorry to hear it then.
I'm
And
actually quite happy now.
Good.
Oh,
It's
Even
quiet.
better you're sitting at the head of the
Yeah.
table. I just... Peterson will raise their glass, say,
Yeah.
to being happy with who and where we are.
Yes, he's very dead. Very, very dead.
Very dead, not just
being-
partially.
Yes.
The dinner
very dead thing.
is
That.
The dinner is perfunctory. The chef doesn't seem too enthused about his work here. He's a gruff man, mid-50s, and doesn't say much as he's serving. There's no other staff here. Is there anything else that you'd like to ask of Linda before you turn in for the night, or do a midnight library run, or whatever else you'd like to do?
I would like to ask about the library and their hours.
Oh, well, there's the Peabody Institute Library of Danvers. That's a public library, mind you. And so, of course, all are welcome. I believe that they close at 5 in the evening.
Oh, very early.
She definitely wanted to ask Miss Linda if she, Miss Linda, are you expecting any new arrivals or new guests that we might be able to meet here in the next couple of days? Her thinking is if some big ritual is happening in 2 days, maybe they're bringing in friends to witness or help.
No.
Hey.
No, I'm not expecting. But if you know anyone, I do love boarders. Yes, extended time.
Definitely send people your way.
I am so pleased to have the 3 of you here. You know, my cook, he, when he clocks out, he doesn't say 2 words to me, and I send him a Christmas gift every year. I'm lonely here.
Yes, I can see.
Yes.
Forgive the potentially impertinent question, but did many people die the same year that Gerald died?
Great question.
That is interesting. I hadn't taken particular note of such a thing.
Okay.
But I did notice a change in the newspaper.
Oh.
There are more deaths all the time at the asylum.
Oh, yes, I'm not surprised to hear that.
No,
Yes.
not at all.
Some are self-inflicted, others just natural causes, but, well, I tell you, I don't think it was quite that way under the purview of Dr. Shine. Yes, many accommodations were made. There were people who, well, believe it or not, it's controversial to say, but rehabilitated. Yes. They left the hospital feeling better.
That is how we all hope as medical professionals that our work will leave people feeling better.
Oh, no, but really.
No,
Wait,
really?
really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, some expect that once you're checked into a madhouse, you're in the madhouse, and that's just what will happen. But Dr. Shine, yes, he had different thoughts. This is what he spoke on when he did the groundbreaking for the Historical Society. Yes, he
Sounds
believed.
like a good man.
Oh, he was. And very handsome.
Mm.
Yes,
Does he have
Linda.
any living relatives?
Well, not that I know of. Oh, but you know what we have at the Historical Society
What?
are his notes.
Oh,
my,
love
my.
a good note.
I love notes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, my.
I don't know if they've been properly catalogued, but I do remember them being gifted after his passing.
Thank you. And a delicious meal. How delicious was the meal? Was it good or was it
Oh, thank you. I'll tell. Beavers.
thank
The
goodness,
cook.
wonderful.
Beavers.
Beavers. Well, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Right.
Well, thank you.
Millie is doing
so
her
much.
pleasantries and getting ready to leave
Yeah.
the room. And then she does that like swing out of the hallway, and then she swings back. And she's, Miss Linda, you're so close to Salem. You don't get any overflow from the traffic or the visitors from there?
Oh, occasionally, yes, we'll get those passing through, visiting. Of course, the witch trials were there.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, we'll get people when they have some big event, overflow, you'll say. But, I should advertise, I suppose.
It would be a very wise marketing aspect. Your Historical Society, I can only assume that they have some information on those trials as well.
Oh, in Danvers, no, but you could always drive to Salem. It isn't far. Well, I am feeling it's the wine that makes me. She falls asleep on the table.
God bless her.
Do it. Anything?
I clean the plates.
As soon as you try to go into the kitchen, Beavers is just standing on the side of the push and pull door, and he just takes the plates out of your hands. He's a gruff, tall, thick man with a big mustache. Huh.
Fine meal, Beavers.
Thanks.
Do we just leave her?
Oh my.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's fine.
Is there like a blanket on a cozy armchair that we can just kind of drape over her shoulders?
Oh yeah, there is a hand-knitted Afghan on what you can tell is
Beautiful.
her chair.
Great. I tuck her into the dining chair.
Perfect.
Great. All right. Well, I don't know about you, but that dinner made me particularly antsy to get out of here.
I wish we could research now, but
We can.
you want to just break in to the historical
Knowledge
society.
should be free. I can.
Unfortunately, knowledge also has business hours and potential policing.
You think there's going to be a police watching a library in Danvers?
Well, I can only assume there's probably 1 or 2 officers, and there's not a lot of activity going on in Danvers after night.
In a small town.
Exactly.
They'll just pull you over for nothing. They're bored.
Sure, but I don't think they are bored. They're all sad.
Well,
And if they're all sad, I don't know about you, but that's quite a demotivator. I'm a particularly quiet thief, and I'm not stealing anything. I'm reading. I cannot just sit here. There are so many strings upstairs that are on the floor now. I'm not doing it again.
Well, Joe, may I possibly persuade you for another course of action that might scratch that particular itch, but not have us breaking into a library that we can go tomorrow morning?
Fine.
How do you feel about staking out Danvers with me tonight? Oh, I saw those eyebrows wave or raise, sweetie.
What exactly do you mean?
Oh, Peterson, it'd be fine. It'd be just some light reconnaissance from the outside. And she's lying her ass off, but her face looks really sincere and comforting to you. That'd just be some exterior reconnaissance.
Yeah,
that's face. Nothing dangerous. Just a walk around the Danvers. We could possibly see what the security protocols are at night, or what the traffic looks like. Or...
Yeah, we can definitely scope out the patrol rotations. Does that sound like it might be useful, Peterson? I could do that. We've got the car. And every time I get like this, a nice drive is a way to unwind. I haven't drank in many hours.
You didn't just have anything at dinner?
No. I never drink whiskey with soup.
Because Joe happens to have a flask in her bag that she took a nip of every once in a while.
Yikes. No, I rolled a 69.
You definitely took a nip before dinner.
So she goes, no, I never drink whiskey with soup. And then it just kind of goes, all right, fine. We can walk. Well, how big's this town? 5 miles? I cannot.
It's not very big.
Stand here.
You pile
Peterson.
into the vehicle as Peterson. His will is not enough to compete with the two of you, as Peterson sits in the back seat stewing.
I'm going just to monitor the two of you, make sure you don't get into trouble. This is not an endorsement of this behavior, by the way.
Of course.
I completely understand, Peterson, but we appreciate your endorsement.
You have that classic kind of 1920s car that you were able to rent from a local. It's black with a long nose and like an arching back and big wheel hubcaps. Very stylish for the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you cruise slowly by. Who's driving?
I have drive. Does anyone else have drive? As I have established, I've been drinking, and that might not be the best thing to showcase.
Hey, one nip before dinner. Give us a roll for drive auto if you.
Doesn't mean it's a good idea just because it's happening in the story.
I agree.
Viewers, especially those under 21 or, of any age, we do not advise drinking and driving.
Don't drink and drive.
Even in 1920, in fact, especially in 1925, because Prohibition was enacted in Boston, or Massachusetts at the time.
I live elsewhere. I don't know these things. And also I'm gonna push because...
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. What did you
I don't
roll?
want to crash. I rolled a 52, and I don't feel like spending 12 luck points.
That's all right. You are just driving slowly, but I'm going to say...
But I failed.
Yeah, but it wasn't like an extreme driving situation, and 52 is not like a crit fail. You are not stealthy in your driving, which was what I
keep popping the clutch.
Exactly. It's doing that thing that old cars do where it's a noisy one. Yeah.
So I could be have a cup of tea in my journal right now, and those red strings. I just wanted to string more strings.
As you drive up to Danvers, you see the 10-foot high spiked wall that you saw earlier today, but it feels more ominous in the little moonlight that's available because, as you know, you are just a few nights away from the new moon, where the moon is almost completely eclipsed, just barely a sliver in the sky tonight. And this spiked wall is, as you drive past the driveway, there is a guard post, and you see a man who is awake, sipping coffee, smoking a cigar, sitting in that guard, not guard tower, what do you call it? The guard post by the driveway.
Okay.
As you continue to drive around, you notice there are patrols. There are patrols in white coats, not a lab coat, but like a white pants and shirt, scrubs style, in pairs. You can see them, you can see one pair walking up to the front gate and another coming out. And you see two more on the side of the building. To recall, let me give you the description one more time of exactly what the asylum looks like in case anyone is joining us for the first time as well. All right. Oh, no. There's a better. Yes, here we go. The Danvers State Lunatic Asylum, or Danvers State Hospital in happier times. The name has changed a bit here and there. It broods atop this hill like medieval walled monastery, a great Gothic pile of red brick and slate roof with harsh angles and windows set like soulless eyes gazing out upon the countryside. Those same windows are the ones that haunted Millie as you first approached, that felt like the windows themselves were watching her like eyes. The extensive buildings and grounds encompass not just the patient wards and dormitories, but offices, examination rooms, laboratories deep into the basements of the building, the kitchens, workrooms, service plants, greenhouses, and a number of other garages, a chapel, like a small city of the mad running with minimal contact from the outside world. And of course, you see the gravestones that dot the sloping hillside that had claimed those lonely patients without a next of kin.
And those are also behind the gate, the graves?
Yes, the gate blocks in a large swath, the entire hill. So the road around it has this 10-foot wall with barbs on top. In fact, let me give everyone a little photograph that you've seen before of the front abode, the facade of this locale. All right, but you are here at night, and you see the orderlies stalking the area.
Looking over into the back seat, Peterson, is that common to have orderlies patrolling the exterior of an insane asylum?
Well, it depends on if you're a maximum security facility. I would think no, since the security is inside. Would it be? How common does this seem? My gut is telling me it's not super common, but actually Paula doesn't for sure know. So
I think it would be a medical use, but you could argue education.
Ooh. He went to Princeton.
Oh, for a check.
Yeah, how normal is it to have patrols at a medical asylum?
Either way, so we'll say medicine.
That means that's high.
40. It's just a regular success. I rolled a 43. That's a regular success.
This is weird. This is not normal. This is
very strange. I mean, you saw what it was like inside. There are locks, there are guards, there are checks. It is very strange to have patrols on the outside of a fenced-in facility meant for healing. It's not a prison. This isn't a government penitentiary. You know what I'm trying to say. Worked up.
Yes, sir, I do. Really fast, Becca, just because it's eating at me as soon as you told me about the guards pacing. Is there anything I can roll or observe to tell whether it looks like they're trying to keep things in or keep things out?
Oh,
That's interesting.
That's
I
some
think that would be a
behavioral stuff.
psychology roll. Yeah.
So
Or
she's
let
gonna
me
pray
know
about
if
that.
there's something else that you think it should be. Also, everyone can roll for spot hidden because you're
Yeah.
just looking for information at this point. You are doing a drive-by stakeout.
Keeper Becca, I hit a 15. I am totally going to burn the 5 luck to make that psychology.
Oh,
Jesus, close.
Wowee.
all right.
Wow. And I don't have a lot of luck.
You
These are
see
better.
the orderlies that just stepped out. One of them is the one that showed you into your friend Larry's room earlier today in the J ward. First of all, you think it seems very strange that he would still be working at this hour. You would
Yeah.
think that a shift would have ended by now and new orderlies would have taken their place, but you also remember that Linda Lovewing said many of the employees
Live on
live
site.
on site.
Yeah.
And you also clock the way that both of their heads keep turning towards the building with little interest paid to the perimeter itself. And that tells you think they're trying to keep things in.
Okay.
Are there any lights on inside? Can we? I assume not in the patients' rooms, but we can at least get a better layout of the place by where lights would be on, which would suggest where staff would live, maybe where the doctors and nurses inhabit. Where's on? What looks alive still?
There are lights off in the upper floors, and you remember that your friend Larry told you that he had been upstairs in a room with windows before he was put into
That's
the
right.
dark and dank cell.
Yeah.
But many of the lights on the first floor are on.
I passed my spot hidden check, just a regular success. I'm curious as we're driving around if there's anything that looks like it might be. If we have to bust Larry out, is there any sort of area that isn't fence but is just like bushes that we might be able to get through, or any sort of weakness or anything else I might notice? But I'm particularly interested in a way out if we have to bust out Larry.
Do you get out of the car or are you just on the road? Because the road goes parallel with the front wall of the asylum, and where you are there, you see no breaks in the wall. And what you can see of the surrounding wall, which encompasses the reservoir lake and the hillsides on either side, it all looks like solid wall with the barbs on top.
I don't think I would be getting out of the car. For clarification, the patrols are on the inside of the gate.
Yes.
And apologies if you said that.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah,
You're
at this point,
painting
I
a
don't
scene.
think I would have gotten outside of the
Yeah.
car. So, okay.
I have a question about the lake that you just described. Is the lake within the boundaries of the hospital, or does it expand past?
It is within the boundaries, and it looks like it's a human-made reservoir.
Okay, I didn't know if we could get a water escape. There's no
It's always
barrier.
been there.
And Joe, as you glance at this reservoir and ponder what could be inside,
I know.
you remember the strange sheen on its surface that you saw as you approached when the gates were open in the daylight.
Yeah. And that sheen came back when the thing jumped into the puddle.
Yeah.
It's residue from the creature, isn't it? Oh. I think we've got a monster in the lake. Okay,
Are you
can
saying this out loud?
I'm babbling to myself in the front seat. She's just chatting out loud, and as an archaeologist, I'm used to digging and getting dirty and watching and reading about the locations. There's so much history at the places. And so, and I don't know anything about spells or any of that, but some cultures that I've educated myself on had those in their histories. So is there any like symbols or iconography like on, since this border is so heavily guarded by people, is there any sort of magical repellent or something of that form? Like, are there any symbols on these walls that have been created? Because I'm fully accepting that there's something incredibly magical happening.
How did your
welcome
spot
to the
hidden?
club, darling.
I know it's really distressing.
How did your
club,
spot
darling?
How did your spot hidden roll go?
It went poorly, but I got well, I mean, I'm gonna call myself out that I then re-rolled, and I mean, just to see if I had pushed, it would have been great, but I didn't push. So it was a 79, and then my not push second roll was a 6. It hadn't come around to me, and then I was like, let's see if this dice rolls better. Shit.
Okay, well, hold on. Joe, you look
Yes.
and you notice a little else that hasn't been elaborated by Peterson, but you tell me how you look harder. And in fact, since you were very far away, I'm going to tell you what you do. You pull over the car.
Go for it.
You pull over the car
Oh boy.
and you
Excuse
hop
me?
out.
Would
You leave
Hang on,
the door
hang on,
open.
I got an idea.
You leave the door open as you trod on the outside of the wall towards the reservoir that you feel drawn to. And as you place
Thing in there.
your hands
Oh boy.
against the wall, there's no water on this side, but you know it's on the other side. And you're looking for markings, for insignia. And is that a extreme success on your push roll?
If you let me take that cheat of a roll, yes.
Okay, look, if we were playing
You're gonna pay
Jumanji,
for
you
it.
would grow a monkey tail right now.
Thank
But-
you. I will accept a consequence with this success. I will absolutely let you do something horrible to me.
The monkey tail is great. Nice callback to Jumanji.
You feel with your hands against the wall and your eyes closed. There is no insignia. There is nothing keeping in the forces. The forces are permeating through the entire town. Whatever is plaguing this place and making it such a hellish locale of pain has no barriers. But something in your knowledge of the occult tells you that near where you're currently standing, there are traces of a sigil that did such a thing.
Whoa.
And just then, a gruff voice behind you says, right over your shoulder, "What are you doing here, girl?"
Ah,
Can we see that anyone has? How far did we? Can we see this, or
You
is
are in
she
the
too
car
far
and
away
you can
and it's dark?
You are in the
Okay.
car. You are 50 feet away,
Okay,
and
so we
you
cannot.
now
Okay, we
see
can't.
the orderly behind her, but you did not see him approach out of the dark. His friend
Okay.
is nearby, shining a flashlight, a torch onto your face, Joe.
I
What are you doing
Guts?
here?
spooked, and I whip around as disorientedly as I possibly can. And good evening, officer. I was on my way home And then I pulled over because I was very drunk.
As
You see his hands ball
And I'm
into
trying to
a
say
fist as he hears you, and a look of confusion momentarily crosses his eyes. Peterson, what were you going to say?
as I see her doing this, can I kind of get out of the car and try to quietly close the distance? If I can, I'd like to get within 30 feet instead of 50. I don't know how much move, but like just, I don't want them to notice me there, but I want to try and close some distance if I can.
Give me a roll for stealth while, Millie, are you staying in the car or are you getting out as well?
Millie might wind up getting herself killed if she takes this course of action, but no, she's going to stealth over as well.
Okay,
I mean,
give me
this
a
is
roll.
like slithering out of the car and trying to.
I rolled a 13, which is a regular success for my stealth.
All right,
you,
hold
baby.
that for 1 second.
Nice.
Let's check in with Joe. Hold on to your roll, Millie.
Yeah.
Joe.
Joe is aware that these orderlies seem to be operating as sort of husks, and their baser instincts tend to kick in. And so Joe is going to fight her normal instincts to brawl back. But because there are two other people that she is not about to get in trouble on her own, because normally she's alone and so she can make her own decisions. But this time she's going to look at the fist and cower and say, "Are you going to hit a woman?"
Hold on, let's deal with the first thing you said first. I'm going to
What?
need you to roll for fast talk for your drunk act.
Oh, great. Great.
As-
That's part of it.
Yeah. Okay. So he's making the fist. He's hearing this. You cower at the fist when you see it, and Joe, you successfully are able. Peterson, you're successfully able to slither out of the car. Millie, how did you do on your stealth roll?
Extreme.
Extreme
burning anything.
success, and there was a hard
There's a
success
70 in it.
for Peterson.
I was just a regular success.
Okay. A regular and an extreme. I'm going to say together the two of you are able to approach unnoticed. Joe?
Oh, 93.
Ooh, it hurts.
It hurts. It hurts real bad. I did say you could do something bad to me.
Boy, that
This
came
is
around
it.
fast too.
He thinks he rolled a 34 on his psychology. And he may not be so smart, but he punches you in the
I
face.
pull out my gun. As soon as I see this, I pull out my gun.
Oh, this is perfect.
He doesn't see you. He doesn't hesitate because he cannot see the gun being pulled. But he
All right, I'll take it.
pulls back, and you close your eyes as you say, "Would you hit a woman?" And you hear a smash into the cement beside your head as he missed. Peterson,
Oh my goodness.
Peterson, what do you do? You are now entering combat, and there are two orderlies.
Okay, look, y'all. I have a gun. It's only a 22 though, so that's not gonna kill anybody. I will point my gun at them and yell at them, and I'm gonna go, "How dare you attack an innocent woman? If you take one more movement closer to her, I will shoot you right now."
The orderly
Back off.
that didn't punch, the other one, standing about 10 feet away, looks at you with an eye of fury and takes a step in your direction. I need to know everyone's dexterity.
Ooh,
Joe, I think you're 60.
60.
Millie. Oh,
Remember when we thought this is going to be a research episode?
I was gonna say, remember the non-confrontational game?
We weren't supposed to try and break into the place at night. 65.
look.
Break in.
I
We're not on
gave
the
you-
property.
I gave you a suggestion. It's not my
Oh,
fault
stuff
that
happens.
Gina had to push. Okay, and then they are
I'm reckless.
All right, so the first orderly has just punched a wall. Peterson has pulled a gun and threatened to shoot it. Millie, what would you like to do?
So Millie, as she is jumping from tree to tree, trying to get into position to get close but stay out of view, she is going to pull her knife out of her boot and stick it in her mouth and just clamp it down with her teeth and getting super low to the ground. If she can turn and catch Joe's eyes, is that possible?
You extreme success on your stealth, so yeah, whatever you want is possible.
But beautiful. So if I can catch just right on the side of the tree and look at Joe, she's going to point to the knife and then do the punch action to Joe. And then do one of these numbers. And then her goal is to eventually, I won't say my goal because you guys would know that.
I do know.
To incite
I
Joe,
recognize the symbol. And is it my turn to go? Am I in the turn order?
If Millie, you're gonna hold tight and you're gonna, you can call your action. I'll say you can. This is not technically a Cthulhu roll, but I'll just say you can hold your action. And you let me know when you take it.
That is perfect.
Okay.
Great. I shimmy to the one side, and so that Millie is directly behind the guard now, so that I can uppercut launch him backwards as hard as I can. Oh boy.
Give me a
Joe
fighting
is a
brawl
boss.
roll.
Come on, Joe.
Okay. Come on, babies. Come on, my little babies.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe.
Come on, come on. Oh, I will. Oh, no.
No.
Okay, I'm going to push.
I'm so sorry.
So much. What?
During combat,
Oh, I
Can't
can't
push
push
combat.
you may not push. You may spin luck, but you may not push.
I got a 47.
What's your brawl?
My brawl is a 25 because I'm not good at fighting. I'm better with my knife.
Oh.
That's a lot of luck.
Wait,
That's a lot
I
of
will
luck.
would you like to use your butterfly knife instead? I will let you retcon that a little bit.
Really?
Because it's the same, we'll keep the roll.
Okay.
We'll just use a
You're
knife.
I don't know why I'm being
Okay.
nice.
You're
I
being
shouldn't be
so
nice.
We love you, though.
Thank you very much. Okay.
You were the ones that got into combat instead of going to bed and going to the library, like Linda clearly suggested.
We love you.
Do you want to? But hold on, you were.
tried.
But the
You
cost.
did.
You made me get in the
Well,
car with them.
Well, I think the intention was that you weren't supposed to tag along and we were going to break into the library anyway, but then you came, so we had to do the patrol.
Becca made me go.
I didn't know you had
Okay.
nefarious plans. You didn't say that.
Sisters.
I thought we were doing what you wanted to do.
You're lovely. You're lovely. Don't worry. Tonight
I
is
will
chaos.
shoot these fuckers.
I know. I forgot that Peterson's the most hardcore of all of us.
Okay, hold on. But
okay.
you were going for non-lethal means, and that's why
Correct.
you pulled this
And
punch.
I can explain. Yes, I can explain why it's a butterfly knife now instead, if you like.
Please.
So, she's
only-
her. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll
What's
leave
up?
it. You're spending the luck to make that a
I'm
success.
spending the luck. I'm
Okay.
spending 7 luck. So on the way over, while she's shimmying, she is she's winding up her swing, and then she feels the rope tingle again around her wrist, and it makes her drop her fist, and then she panics for a moment and grabs the butterfly knife and instead of obviously she doesn't open it, she just grabs the butterfly knife and goes to like just sort of almost uses it like the brass rings.
Uses it like a knuckle
Yeah, like a
What do we?
knuckle
Why
duster?
can't none of
What are they called?
Dang it! None of us can remember. Brass knuckles.
Brass
Yeah.
knuckles, punching dagger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically a get back.
So you're using it like sideways. Okay, just as an implement. Yeah, that still feels like a fighting brawl roll to me, but fine. Okay.
I know.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
that's
want
fine.
to stab him.
No, that was the choice you had to make. Let's see, because he is going to try and intercept, and he is unable to parry. Yeah.
I'm making a mockery of this game.
Give me a damage roll, but it's going to be a 1d3 plus your damage
Okay.
bonus, which I think is 0. It's based on your size.
Yeah.
Okay. So d6 and then have it.
It's a 1d4.
I'm having you, because you're turning it sideways and you're not stabbing with it, you're punching with it. I'm going to have you roll for your unarmed. I mean, like, essentially, like it was brass
perfect.
knuckles.
Got it. Oh, I understand. I got a 4, so a 2.
Okay. He roils back in pain. Oh, my nose! What? This.
Sorry.
I thought you were drunk, huh?
Sorry.
You didn't believe me anyway, and I am a little bit.
Okay, Peterson. What would you like to do?
I pull off my glasses and I go, I got real good aim. So you better go back to your patrol and leave us alone. There's a nice lady just going for a walk. Get out of here. And don't think I won't report you to your boss.
Okay, you notice the second orderly, the one that was off to your right as you're facing this wall and facing Joe, takes another step closer to you. I'm going to need a hard intimidate if you're trying to make them stop.
Well, none of that landed in the dice tray. Okay, new dice. New dice. Oh, gosh.
I'm giving the hardest heart eyes.
That would be
apology.
a 3.
Oh, thank goodness.
Please check your intimidate if it isn't already.
Thank goodness.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
I repeat again. Joe is giving major heart eyes to Peterson with major apology puppy eyes.
Just wink. And then I go, going to Princeton? We have shooting classes there.
The one to your right that was taking a step puts his hands up and takes a step backwards instead. And as you rolled an extreme success, he starts backpedaling until he's far enough away to turn and sprint. He's heading back where he came from, which is towards the back of the building, which you hadn't seen. You were looking for another entrance. He's not running towards the front gate. You don't know how they got outside this wall, but he's running towards the back of the building. The other orderly, the one that was just brass-knuckled by sideways butterfly knife in the nose, just looks angrier.
Ooh, can I slip in here?
Is that the one
Sure.
with the cut?
That is the one that has the cut on his wrist. Yes. Millie, he hasn't noticed you yet. What do you do?
All right, so Joe has basically punched, daggered, slashed him back where he's me with a broken nose. Peterson just sent one flying. She's going to attempt to leverage I'm super intimidated. There's a gun in play. One of my guys is fleeing, and a girl literally just bloodied my nose. To just very cautiously creep up. She's going to utter a quick ask for help from one of her ancestors, probably one of her great aunts that used to do the cup hustle really fast with the ball or the coin underneath. She's going to utter a quick prayer to that, and her goal is to just get right up on that pocket and get that ring and sever that cord. But the goal is to do it where he's not aware that his keys are off.
Okay. So you're just continuing to sneak up, calling on your ancestor. So I think I need a stealth and an occult. But it can.
Oh God. Okay.
So those can be two separate rolls.
It's so funny you said that because I was thinking like Becca is running this game so well. I'm stressed out every time she calls for a roll. Like I'm sitting here like God. Yeah, so bravo. All right, I'm gonna do the occult first because that is by far something I don't have. 49. That's not gonna touch me on an occult with a 5.
Your aunt doesn't answer.
Damn it, Aunt May.
Aunt May cannot give you the time of day. She is such a hustler. She's still doing it.
Even in the afterlife. Oh, Aunt May. All right, here is the stealth. I have a 70 in stealth and I rolled an 82.
No.
You run up.
She's gonna push it if I can. Is that an option?
Not in combat. You have the knife between your teeth as you run up to him. But he already got to act this round as he got that surprise punch in. But that was actually before combat started. So he's going to get one more attack. And as you run up, it's now his turn. And he completely sees you. You are in the shadows, in the dark, behind that tree. And you just start sprinting up. There are the lights pouring out from inside the building.
This is like me playing a video game.
And he doesn't have a weapon. He just... I'm sorry.
He does have a weapon.
He's been patrolling with a baton in his on his belt. He reaches for the baton that is on his belt. And just like playing Little League, you run up, reaching for the keys as he just undercuts and boom. It makes a horrible sound as it connects and does 2d4.
Ooh. Oh God.
This is a part of the game where I normally lie to be nice, but I feel like I've been nice.
You've been generous.
No, if you rolled a 2 4, that's so bad. How many? Oh gosh.
Max damage?
No!
I need you to, would you like to dodge or would you like to fight back in return?
Millie.
In fact, this damage hasn't quite hit yet. I rolled it and I'm going to hold on to that number.
Oh, Millie. Millie's gonna have to go for the...
It's only a regular degree of success.
Millie's gonna be true to her character. If I'm fighting back with the small knife, can I fight back against the belt? Can I still go after the belt?
I'm going to say you have to do something to the baton and the hulking man that is swinging a baton at you. But you may either dodge that or you may take the knife in your hand and try and stab him before he hits you.
All right. God bless us. She is going to fight back. Y'all, Millie's gonna die. I hope y'all know that.
No, don't say that!
No.
Don't say that!
Okay, the knife you drop from your mouth, it's a really cool move where it drops from your teeth and you catch it and you rear back just as you get clocked underneath the chin by this baton and you fall straight backwards for 7 points of damage.
Are you still alive?
Yes, well, she might...
you are now
Joe
unconscious. You have taken a major wound.
That's a con, right?
A major wound, yes. Let me get out my flow chart. A major wound will be a con check, yeah.
I just want to go to the library.
You had your chance.
So did I!
I'm sorry.
On behalf of the players, we're really sorry, Peterson.
The sorority has to send a replacement character for next session.
Right. Her sister will come up. It's fine. That NPC's already been introduced. We have to get here in 2 days, apparently.
Oh gosh.
Okay, first you just fall prone. Hold on to your con roll. That's going to be for your next turn when it comes back around to you.
Understood.
Okay. Sorry, it's actually Millie's turn, so let's resolve this con roll.
You didn't make it.
Okay, so major wound, fall prone, con roll. If failed, you fall unconscious.
She's out.
Yeah, you're
I'm a
just
doctor of
knocked out.
medicine. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
but there is still one opponent still standing, and he's just looking at Millie on the ground, holding his baton as Joe. It is now your turn to act.
Can I throw in a quick thing?
Mm-hmm.
So you see it caught with the baton directly under the chin, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Just
gasping for breath, blood is gurgling and bubbling up out of her throat as she falls straight back. And as she's laying on her back, completely unconscious, the blood keeps gurgling and bubbling out of her throat. And it starts to press in on the fabric of her shirt. And you can actually see the outline of that necklace in her gree-gree pouch that's starting to emerge from under the blood spatter of the shirt.
Oh,
Thank you for
I
that.
love that. Thank you.
Oh,
In fact, just for fun, Millie, give me a power roll while you lay here, so near this reservoir.
Does anyone else want to roll for me? Because I have missed 12 rolls in a row at this point.
This is
My
just
dice
to
hate
Some
see.
point
today,
it's gotta
too.
change.
I'm just curious what you see when the lights go out.
All right, 49 out of 60. We made the POW.
You, as your eyes, the world goes black, you see bits and pieces, images of revelry, of laughter, just a mouth thrown back in joy, and then the slash of an arm and blood dripping out. You see a tiny sliver of a moon. You see a bubbling in the reservoir, and you see Dr. Berger's eyes, these haunting gray eyes, just flitting back and forth as if they're watching the revelry unfold. As you're knocked out. What does Joe do?
Well, Joe doesn't know that part. And Joe doesn't necessarily want a murder on her track record. And so she's going to try a different tactic because she knows when a fight isn't going to go in their direction. And so she throws up her hands and tries and gets the guard's attention again and says, "I'm sorry we weren't upfront with you. We know about the creature in the lake. We want to help."
Oh my gosh. I don't know how he's gonna react to this.
I don't, but I also know that he's going to keep trying to kill us.
True.
And I don't know if you want a body on your record either, Peterson. You went to Princeton. I don't want, this was my fault anyway, so I don't want you to have that on your head or your shoulders or any part of it. So she's just swinging wildly, trying to get him to not beat her friend to death.
What would you like to roll?
I imagine, I don't know. It depends on how he's reacting. It's either a fast talk or occult or persuade.
I think it's
Or-
persuade.
Okay.
I'm going to need a hard success because you are in combat, but I will give you a bonus die because he appreciates your honesty.
Oh, thank you.
But also, I just noticed in his skills is smile menacingly, so
What does
Oh,
that
God.
mean? Oh, what does that mean? Also, what does bonus die mean? Do I roll twice?
Oh yes.
Or...
You
Like
keep
advantage.
the smaller digit, the ones digit,
Okay. Okay.
but you re-roll the tens digit and take the better.
Okay.
I'm just stress eating now.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Dice gods. Dice gods, I hear you. I heard you. Okay. That's not the worst. That's not the worst. I can't this is in the realm of possibility. Okay, I got a 12.
Oh, thank God.
Amazing.
My hard success is a 15.
Yes.
Oh my God. It went from a 42 to a 12.
He turns towards you, Joe. He's standing a foot away from your face as you see the sickly yellow light of the building reflecting onto his teeth as his maw opens into a wide, menacing smile and the blood dripping from his broken nose.
No.
As he makes eyes at your friend Millie on the ground, and he says, I think I taught you a lesson. Get your friend and don't come back here.
We got it.
Unless, of course, you'd like to be admitted.
Oh.
And he doesn't turn as he walks backward where his friend went, towards the rear of the
Right
asylum.
back through a bush.
Very
gosh.
Homer Simpsons.
Very Homer Simpson.
Yes, he vanishes in the darkness.
Joe
And
keeps
you're
her
up to-
hands up. Joe keeps her hands up and snaps to make Peterson look at them. I don't know how sort of where you are right now. I'm just trying to see if you're still trigger happy or if you're okay.
No, as soon as Millie went down, all
Yeah.
thoughts of violence went out of Peterson's brain, and that doctor of medicine thing kicked in and was just
Yeah.
like, I have to help this person.
Do you
Great.
go to her?
Then we lock eyes
Yes.
and in unison, I imagine we just run and pick
Run.
up Millie.
I'd like to run and do a first aid if I can to try and revive or administer some
Yeah.
sort of healing.
You
Can I
absolutely
try as
can.
well?
I'll let you both. For medicine, you may heal 1d3 points, and for first aid, the maximum is just 1 on a success. So I'm gonna say,
So I should do
Joe.
medicine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Peterson.
I'm gonna just try first aid.
Yeah, you roll for medicine, Peterson, and Joe. You can do a first aid. If you're both helping, I'll allow you both to give that heal.
Ooh, hard success. I rolled a 20.
Whoa.
Roll a d3.
Come through, Princeton.
I don't know how to do maths. I don't know what a hard success is. It's a 30, but I rolled an 11.
It's still just 1 point for a first aid success.
Oh, right. It doesn't matter the success range. Okay, great. You heal 1 from me.
Okay.
2 from me. I rolled a 3.
All right.
Looking out.
Of the 7 that you took, you heal 3. You're only down 4 now. And Millie, you come to, and your friends are
And
over
how
you.
she does. As I see Millie coming back, I'll just put my glasses back on.
Oh God, like she's coughing and a couple of her
all right.
teeth are in her hand.
Joe takes off her coat and just like lets you spit all of your blood into it.
Can we go back and sleep and go to the Historical Society in the morning, please?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
She stops and she looks around as she's taking poor Joe's coat away, and it's just saturated in blood. She reaches into her own shirt and takes a gree bag, and she just quick snaps it off of her neck, and she throws it to the ground in just total disgust. It failed her. She failed her. Everything failed her at this point in time. And she is going to look back at the asylum, and she says to both of you guys, for the first time without this Louisiana accent, he's watching us. And then she's just going to stand up and then go back to the car, sit in the back seat, and just completely shut down.
I will pick. I got real southern first thing. I will pick that bag up. Peterson will pick that bag up and put it in their kind of satchel that they always have. Their like medical bag kind of satchel thing that they always carry with them.
You pick
There's
up
no
the
way she's
gree
not gonna
bag.
want that. Yeah.
Millie, as soon as you hit the back seat, you lie down and you're out. Joe, you get back driving the car. You return to the boarding house, and no lights are on. No one is there when you return. It is late in the hour, and you go to your respective rooms, each tuck in for bed. I think that you would help Millie into bed, make sure she's all right, and gets a little more first aid. Anyone have anything they need to do before they fall asleep?
Before we go our separate ways into bed, Peterson will just look at Joe and go, "You didn't know
You don't have to do that.
that would happen."
Peterson, you don't have to do that.
Well, I do. We all chose to go. We all chose to get out of the car. So, just remember that.
Yeah. But I also know that I'm sometimes a bit of a shit, and we should have just gone to bed. So I just want you to know that I'm aware. I'm trying.
Look.
I came back because I'm trying. Okay. Here, and she throws her flask at you. I'm trying.
Right.
I promise.
I will put this in my bag, and I'll put it in the bag near the gree pouch.
Okay.
Just, hey, we wouldn't have known about the extra security if we hadn't gone.
Yeah.
So, drink some water.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
Yeah.
Joe, do you tell Peterson what you felt?
Yeah, I do. Before you go, there's it's comforting telling you my notes. So there's a symbol. I don't even think it's written. It's just there. There's something on the wall.
What?
Joe, let me fill in the blanks for you here. You had an extreme success on your occult roll as you put your hands against the wall. And you felt that there is no barrier. There is nothing holding back whatever dark energy pervades everything here. But you asked specifically, before you got an extreme success, if there were any symbols. And an image of what once was has a sort of residue in your mind. You were near the reservoir, and you feel that once, near the reservoir, there was a symbol. It's sort of a messy star, and in the center section of that star is a flame outline. And that is all you see.
That's what I saw.
It seemed like, excuse me, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. It seemed like a symbol that was there that wasn't working anymore.
I wouldn't say that. It's almost like it, maybe before it was the hospital, it was something else.
Do we think the symbol is what's letting things out, or it was what was keeping things in and isn't there and was broken or weakened at some point? Could you tell that?
I will have to go and research, I think, before. I don't know what that symbol represents, but I do know nothing's holding whatever's at Danvers. There's nothing holding it in.
Describe it to me one more time. I just want to pull out my journal because I want to draw a picture of it.
Messy star. No, like a little wider, and a flame in the middle.
In the middle of it.
In fact, I'm showing it to chat right now. It's gonna. This is not what I
star,
had.
like the Cthulhu symbol in all the games.
You know, out of character. You may know it as. You may have seen this before.
Paula knows what this symbol is. I played Arkham Horror, the card game.
That's exactly what it comes from. Hold tight while I send it to you, players. But please continue.
So Peterson will draw it and then show it something sort of like this.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, well, when we go to the Historical Society and the Peabody Institute Library tomorrow, maybe we'll see if there's something else there, or maybe we can send back to the dispatcher, I don't know, and see if they know anything.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We can give them a call in the morning.
All right. Get some rest and don't be too hard on yourself, okay? I don't think your patron would want you to be.
As you tuck in,
I hug you.
I hug back. I take my glasses off though, and I hug back.
Oh my God, they're so cute. Oh, okay.
Thanks for being here, Peterson.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you're one of the first people I saw when I got off the train.
Yeah. You know, you can call me Penny anytime you want, if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And she kind of puts her hand on the side of your face and she goes, "Good night, Penny." And she kind of gives you like just a quick peck on the cheek and just like dead goes to her room.
as each of you tuck in to your respective rooms.
That was so sweet.
This town...
It's fine, I'm just feeling emotions.
Oh God.
This town feels unsettling, but each of you rests easier knowing that nearby, in a bed not far away, each of you has someone that cares for you very much and will protect you at any cost. And something in that gives you solace, gives you the power to go another day, and reminds you that there is someone that needs your help. There is a friend trapped in this asylum. And when you saw him looking weak and alone and trapped, you knew you had to do anything you could. And that is the thought that guides you each as you fall asleep. As you drift off into dreams, or perhaps a hard dreamless sleep, wouldn't that be nice? I would like each of you to roll for power.
Okay. I got exactly my number.
You succeeded, Joe.
I
Millie
failed.
succeeded. Peterson
Yes.
failed. Peterson, you toss and turn with nightmares. You feel a deep disturbance with everything you've seen. You think about how something didn't seem right with those orderlies, with the nurses, with everyone at the hospital, and you can't get a good night's sleep at all. But Joe and Millie, you have a pleasant dream. You dream of yourself walking through a hallway in a shining, clean establishment. Somewhere that feels familiar. You feel like you've been here before, but not like this. You feel proud and useful and like you're beginning something new, and you're walking down a hallway in these cute little heels. You look over, you see your friend, but you're not talking, you're listening. In front of you is a woman in clean white with a pointed hat, sharply pressed, a nurse with a blue apron, while all the other nurses are wearing just plain white, as you are, completely pressed, not a pin out of place in your hair, or any of the fellow nurses that are around you. And as you look around at these other nurses, they all seem very young and bright-eyed, and you hear this head nurse, you know her to be, ahead of you, walking as everyone follows. And she says, each patient must not only be fed 3 square meals, but bathed and talked to and socialized with other residents that they best accord with, of course. We don't want anyone, we want to rehabilitate here at Danvers Rehabilitation Clinic. It's very important to us, and I will not tolerate sloppy uniforms. We only accept the highest standard of excellence. And as she goes on, you look into the rooms on either side of you. There are patients laughing, patients doing puzzles with orderlies, sitting and listening to them in the cafeteria. And she takes you to a large picture window, and everyone stops as she gestures out, and she says, this reservoir is what provides all of the drinking water for the entire hospital. And here on this sloping hill, the incredible superintendent of this establishment, who you will soon meet, he cares very deeply to meet each and every new hire, Dr. Shine. He has just installed this beautiful statue. Now, some taxpayers may have bristled, but I like it. It gives me a sense of calm. And you look out and see a large granite stone. From the angle, you're looking down at the water, and this stone is flat and into the side of the hill. And as you look out further around the property, you see the walls that you saw the night before, but there are no barbs on the top. And as you peek further out the side of this window, you can see the end of the driveway, and the gates, the wrought iron gates, stand ajar, as if people can come and go as they please. And you hear the nurse walk off again, her heels clicking as she says, "For the superintendent's retirement ceremony, we will need everyone here and their best and brightest." And as she fades off, you drift out of sleep. As you remember where you are, and you wake up.
Joe wakes up with a start and I saved some of that water. And she like runs back, like she's like bolting downstairs and trying to go through her luggage. Where did she put it? It's in the car. Okay, and she's just running around like a mad woman because she stole food and water and like she stole all of that from them. So she's gonna do good. She's gonna get it to Peterson. She's gonna get it to Penny, and then she'll be proud. Okay, they're gonna be proud.
You find it in your satchel that you left in your car. Peterson, you did not have this dream, and you wake up with an awful headache.
Awful. I mean, bags under the eyes, glasses firmly pushed up against the face, just hair tighter than ever under a cap, just really bad morning.
Peterson, please roll for Constitution.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's a fail.
Oh, Peterson.
You lose 5 points of Constitution.
Oof.
It hurts. I'm down to 35 points.
This also lowers your HP to 8.
Okay.
We'll see how you sleep tomorrow night. But as the three of you wake up, the knowledge of what you did yesterday has sunk in, and I will allow each of you your investigator development phase. I would like you to roll for each and every skill that you have checked so far in gameplay. Checked meaning you succeeded without having to push or spend luck.
I succeeded in stealth.
Here's what you're trying to do.
Forgot to check those things.
If you believe that you did it, you can just go ahead and roll for it. Now, you won't automatically succeed. What's going to happen is you're going to roll, and instead of trying to roll low on your D100, you're trying to roll high. So let's say you have a 60 in the skill, you need to roll above that, because if you're already very good at lockpicking, it is difficult for you to improve lockpicking. But if you're not very good, it's easier to improve. If you do succeed by rolling high instead of the usual low, then you add 1d10.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'm rolling for my first aid first.
I improved on Intimidate.
Oh,
By how much?
I improved.
So I rolled an 86 and my Intimidate's 50, so I roll a d10, right?
Yep.
Which one? Oh, duh, it's just literally. I rolled a 7.
Nice.
Good for you,
Did I
babe.
change that from 50 to 57?
That's right.
Yes. Will this update the math? Yes. Thank you, PDF.
AutoCalc sheets.
Yes.
We do love it. All right. Feel free to roll quietly or shout it out if you have good news or funny bad news.
I don't get better at medicine.
Oh,
because I went to
God.
Princeton, I can't.
Because you went to Princeton. It's just a...
My first aid was handing you my coat to puke in, so I only got a 1 improvement.
It's still an improvement. It's
I know,
still
I
an
love
improvement.
it.
That feels right.
Still an improvement.
Y'all, my stealth is 20%, but I did it successfully. So I rolled a 7 just now. So I've not gotten better at stealth at all. But I did get better at Intimidate.
Amazing.
Which I feel like makes sense because I'm cranky. So I'm gonna be
Yeah.
surlier.
Edge. When she gets up that morning, she's mechanically reconciling her skills, but with the dream that she has, she is going to either go downstairs, or if she has water glasses in her room, she's going to put her back up against the door and just nonstop practicing with those cups. Something happened. Either she pissed Aunt May off, or something was wrong, because snapping keys off of a belt was something she was doing when she was 12. She's good at this. How she botched that yesterday, it doesn't make any sense. There's a disconnect somewhere in the universe, and she is going to sit here and almost in a meditative, hyper focused state, just constantly scooting these glasses. She improved all of her skills except for stealth. Go figure. So she's sitting here, she'll skip breakfast, and just anybody who crosses the door or hears this, just like that sound of glass scooting very quickly across, hardwood floor, scratch, clank, scratch, and the door is vibrating from her shoulders.
Spot hidden is the only one I didn't succeed on. So in the vein of making that lovely flavor like you just did, because that was great. That's why she's been running around the house, because she couldn't remember where she put her stuff. So it's like, because she spreads when she finds a home instead. So she's just like, where is it?
I think at this point, Peterson is probably sitting down at the table in the dining room or wherever breakfast would be, and just with coffee, just trying to get this headache to go away with some caffeine, just like almost like hungover.
Old Lady Linda is also sitting in her chair at the end, at the head of the table, and isn't saying anything, just staring at you, watching you drink your coffee as she drinks hers.
Oh, Linda, would you mind showing us to the Historical Society and perhaps the Peabody Institute this morning, just as early as you can be ready to do that? I think we'd all appreciate it.
I'm ready any time for history.
I appreciate your enthusiasm.
And that's a little, there's something, Peterson really likes Linda. Yeah.
I'm a morning person.
She's so cute.
You did fall asleep quite early last night. But,
No, that was late for me.
Oh my gosh.
thank you for staying up for our dinner. What are you, Joe? Are you running around like a chicken with its head cut off? What is going on?
I got water. And she slams
There's water,
the
I think, in the house.
No, don't drink it. I spit in it.
Why are you giving it to me?
I may be coming down with a cold, and I want you to test the water that I just spit in with your fancy medical things. And she's just like trying to turn her face away from Linda.
I'm
and
imagining Peterson having a CSI level like centrifuge and stuff in their bag that they're able to like basically we go to the lab. Anyway, sorry, that's just a silly image I had in my head.
I would love for you to, but I will remind you, you don't have any skill in science.
It's true.
And send it. I'm gonna send this to the lab. I don't know how long. Oh gosh, why are we in the 20s? This will never get to the place in time.
Linda
Well,
says,
if you're not feeling well, dear, I have a tea for that. Let me make my brew.
and she gets up to make a tea for all of you.
Great, Linda.
Yes?
Yes. Just a quick question. Does the whole town drink from the Danvers Reservoir?
Oh, no. There's just a regular piping from the city.
Great.
Ooh,
I
there's a
love some tea.
Water plant a few miles down the road.
Great.
Can I tell from looking at the glass of water that it has the sheen on it, that it's from the lake, or does it just look like regular water to me?
Give me a spot hidden.
Great question.
Yeah. While you're spot hiding, looking, I will inform you of my dream in very quick, hushed tones.
Oh, and that's a regular success. I go, oh, I had nightmares last night, but that sounds very interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I have a headache, but I'll be fine. I just need to read some books. Probably that'll make me feel better.
Peterson, you hold the vial that Joe had captured from the puddle, and you put it next to the water glass that Linda had put out for you. And compared to the clear water in the glass, this water is murky with a grayish blue. It's not like there's pieces in it. There's just a sort of like iridescence to it that doesn't look drinkable, to say the least.
I think it's monster goo.
Monster goo.
I think, Millie, are you still in your room doing cups, or are you coming down to breakfast?
In the spirit of her mood, and I'm totally okay with missing this role play, she's still up in her room doing cups.
Perfect.
And this is from Danvers.
Yes. Yeah. Remember, when I was collecting all the food, we were thinking maybe it was poisoned. So I thought we could grab it all. And then I had the dream that the water, they're all drinking it. And they were normal before. They were all smiling and happy, and there were windows open. And
Okay, well, there's only one thing to do.
Oh, God.
I'll take a little sip of it and see if anything happens. Not the whole thing, just a little sip. Well, if it's affecting anyone, then we need to know. So if you see me be different, you'll know.
Oh.
This is an experiment. You are the control.
Oh, I'm a really bad control.
You immediately do a spit take. It tastes disgusting. Give me a con roll.
Oh, God.
Oh, so low.
Oh, and they just took a con hit too.
Oh, I'm gonna spend 1 luck point and make it a hard success.
With that hard success, you feel fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there is something.
There's just
You felt like as soon as it hit your lips, you felt like worms were slithering towards the back of your tongue,
Okay,
and like you spit it out, and that feeling went away instantly. As Linda returns with a cup of tea, and she hands one to you and one to Joe, and says,
This will fix up any ailments. Oh, it's very good for you. It's got mugwort and steam pie and dragonhoff.
Well, those are old wives' tales remedies, but thank you very much. I'm sure it will taste delicious.
Yeah. Thanks. Joe grabs her cup, and since she isn't actually feeling ill, she's gonna go. I'm gonna go check on Millie. I think she might like this. And
before you, just very quickly, before you go, Joe, this was from the cafeteria?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I might have the puddle one around here. No, I don't.
"Oh, it was from the cafeteria. Same difference, same thing. They pull the water
From the reservoir.
I mean, in your dream, you did hear her say that they did. In the dream.
This, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes. Go get Millie. Miss Linda here is ready to take us to the Historical Society and the Peabody Institute as soon as we are ready. And I think the sooner the better.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Road trip. I'll get out my old Studebaker. I don't know if it will start. I'll need my driving glasses and my driving gloves. The left
Miss
and
Linda,
the right.
that's fine. Let us treat you, Joe, as a fine driver. You'll have the chance to look out the window, notice all the sights that you normally don't get to see because you're the one driving, but you will get to see them. It is our treat to you for being such a lovely host and delicious tea.
Oh, well, you are making such assumptions about my eyesight, but sure.
No.
And do you drink the tea?
I do drink the tea.
It has a very earthy smell to it. It is strong. It's not particularly good, not particularly bad. But as you do, you regain those 5 constitution points that you lost, and you go up back to your original HP
Oh, a
level.
cup of tea? I love Linda.
Yeah, Linda's OP. Yeah, Joe's upstairs, and she gives I have tea.
Scritch, scratch, scratch, scritch, scritch, and then you hear like the bum scooting on the floor, and the door is able to be just kind of pushed aside, and she'll say, "Come in, darling."
take a deep breath and get ready to see what a night of swelling has done.
Ooh,
All
I didn't
through
even think
here,
about
honey.
it.
And you know she's fair complexion too. Listen, black, blue, purple, this weird welt that's coming across here. And she's making no attempt to hide it. You know she has regular scarves and things.
Oh, yeah.
She's making no attempt to hide it whatsoever.
Yeah, Joe already pre-prepped her poker face and just extends the tea to you in a kind gesture.
Just
and
purely to see how black and blue the neck is. Millie, roll for appearance.
Oh,
come on, baby. Cocked. That would be a 99, babe.
You look so bad.
It's rough.
I gotta stop rolling these dice. They're dice shaming now.
Joe holds eye contact with you, only looking at your eyes, and just goes, "You look great."
Do you hand her the tea?
Yes, this is for her. Miss Linda is getting pretty antsy downstairs. I think she wants to go on a little gal pal time around town. Whenever you're ready.
She'll kind of like adjust her throat, which is sending her fingers over this 99 out of 100 worth of bruising, scarring, tissue peeling back. I mean, it's pretty bad. She'll take a cup of tea and she'll just very carefully sip it. And actually looks like it hurts for her to swallow it. She says, 2 things for you, Joe. Just your opinion.
Yeah.
Do you think Linda killed her husband? That's been bothering me since yesterday.
Is it bad if I say I hope so?
Oh, no, not at all. And she starts coughing, which starts stretching skin and all of that fun stuff.
As you look up, Millie, you regain 1 point of HP as you drink the tea as well. And as you look up on the wall in this room, there is a portrait of an old man, mostly bald, with some white hair on the sides. And he just looks... So he's sitting in a rocking chair in front of a fireplace with a hunched over back and just an evil stare and a frown towards the painter.
Then I definitely hope so.
I sincerely do too. We can't just save Larry, is what he likes to be called, correct?
Yeah. I know.
It's all
I'm
of
thinking
them.
about it. I know.
It's all of them.
It's so weird. If he just checked in 10 years earlier, I feel like I had this wild dream that it was peaceful there. And that it was nice. And the night nurses were so sweet.
She doesn't speak to interrupt you, but she's giving you this super compassionate, biting her bottom lip and just giving you kind of like this knowing, like, all of them, Joe.
All of them.
Not just Larry.
I know.
We have to readjust the strategy.
Yeah. This isn't a grab and go.
It's all or nothing.
As you set your determined wills, the 4 of you, including Old Lady Linda, pile into the car and head to the Danvers Historical Society, where she is set to give you a tour. As you walk inside the door of this small, square, older building on the main strip of the town, you have a feeling run down your spine of being watched, all 3 of you, and you glance around, but see no one. And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Woo!
Is it 10 o'clock? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could keep going. I could play for 2 more hours.
Okay, we'll play for 2 more hours. Well, we will be returning next week and the week after, so we'll save more juicy story
We'll finally do our research.
Hey, you do you.
We learned a lot, actually.
Becca was like, they didn't go to the library. I better give them a dream.
That is
If you'd like,
merciful keeper.
If you'd like to check out our little talk back where we give each other crap and or compliments, okay, mostly compliments judging on last week's episode, feel free to follow us on Patreon. And by follow, I mean become a patron on Patreon, patreon.com/goodtimesociety. That is how you can support the Calyx and also all the other content that we do at Good Time Society. We do podcasts, we do board game content, playthroughs, videos, tutorials, all kinds of stuff, and lots of stuff with Call of Cthulhu. There is a wonderful one-shot that we shot in person that we aired last Tuesday. You can find it on youtube.com/goodtimesociety. It's called The Auction. It has B. Dave Walters, Xander Jeanneret, Josephine McAdam, and Erica Ishii, and Muse Keeper, and it's a one-shot, so, you know, things happen, and feel free to check that out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week for part 3 of these lovely folks, the Sorority of the Unordinary. All right, take care and have a wonderful spooky evening. Yeah, Cthulhu Fataken.